Some lawyers brag that they take less money in fees than other lawyers. The problem is they often get less in results, meaning less money in your pocket. We know that this is a really difficult time for you. There's a lot going on. This decision that you're making about what lawyer to pick to represent you is critical because you do not want to waste time on the wrong lawyer, especially not a low fee, low cost discount lawyer. They will do damage to your case, even if later you call us and say, Sam, Ash, please fix this for me. And we do that. By the way, if you are right now with a low fee, low cost lawyer and they're messing your case up, please call us and get a second opinion on it. Because the sooner you get rid of that bad lawyer, the better. But low cost is high risk. And that's the most important thing to know. The wrong lawyer will do wrong things with your case and it will cost you money. So don't go down that road and get help from the right firm from start, because it will set you up for success. It will set you up for good value, and it'll set you up honestly too. It's also about just headspace. You want to know that everything is being taken care of the best way possible. And there's nothing worse than being hurt, being injured, grieving. And on top of that, worried, is my lawyer really doing right by me? The cost question is an important one. And the companion question, of course, to ask is value, right? Because cost is only one factor in it. What matters in your case is what your net result is going to be. Our fees are competitive with other great firms.
Yeah, and one thing is our fee is never paid by you or your family. That's something the insurance company covers. So you don't have to, there's no situation where you or your family are writing a check to Sam and Ash Injury Law. It's just not how this works. So it costs you nothing. You don't have to pay any cent. We cover all the costs up front to hire those experts, to maintain that team. But at the end of the case, that's something that the insurance company covers.
Let's go through that. One, the truth is we're competitively priced. Among the good firms out there, we're competitive.
Yeah.
There are some firms, of course, that advertise that they are less expensive, that they have fees that are lower than other firms. And my strong recommendation is that you run as fast as you can away from those firms. Because for your case, for your big injury case, you don't need cheap. In fact, cheap will result in a worse result.
Yeah, we always say cheap lawyers get cheap results. And so it's not a good move to go out and look for that discount lawyer, especially knowing the extent of your injuries in your case.
What your case needs is the best of the best. And the best of the best costs money. I mean, here's the dirty secret that no one will tell you in this business, because nobody wants to go out there and peel back, or pull back the curtain. The firms that charge discount rates are also the firms that pay their people discount money. And in this environment, especially today, in the state of our economy, if you pay discount money to good people, they leave. And so what you're left with is discount labor in those firms. And you end up with people who are not the best. And part of that team that we talk about, how important it is to have an entire team behind you, behind supporting your case, moving your case forward, getting things done. If all those people are paid less, or there isn't enough of them, or if the firm that doesn't charge enough fees. By the way, what are they going to? Are they going to hire the best experts? Are they going to go out and get a top accident reconstructionist? No, they're focused on cost, and what they've lost track of in all that is value, because it's like anything in life. If you've got a big injury case, you need to get a certain result. And to get that, you have to invest money into it. Now, the other thing that is really important, is the fact that we're ultimately paid by the insurance company. So this is not money that's coming out of your pocket. So I think the most important thing in this process is not to be hung up on fees, but to be thinking about value, to be thinking about what kind of result do I want in my case? What kind of justice do I want for me and for my family? Because when you're thinking in those terms, you're going to hire the right lawyer. If you're thinking just about which lawyer is the cheapest and where, that lawyer will be no match for the AIG lawyer, the top insurance company lawyer, because the minute that the insurance company sees a multi-million-dollar exposure, which is their word for what this potentially could cost us, what do they do? Do they put their C team on that? Their B team? No, they will put their top experienced litigator on that. Your case doesn't have a fixed value, right? Any injury case, any wrongful death, it doesn't have a market value, like, I don't know, like selling a piece of used furniture online, right? It doesn't have a market value. That value needs to be developed. And believe it or not, the same injury can be worth $500,000, $1 million, $10 million, depending on what lawyer brings the case.
Well, we just had a client call us, actually, that a great example is someone who had a case and was with a prior attorney, and that prior attorney tried to get them to settle their case for $100,000, and then they didn't think it sounded right. This doesn't, for what I've been through, this doesn't add up. And so they went to another law firm, and the $100,000 turned into $200,000, but still they were like, this doesn't sound right. And so they called us and we agreed. We're like, this doesn't sound right. So we took on the case and dug into it after the fact and are looking through it. And there was an insurance policy that the other lawyers hadn't even discovered because they didn't do the work. They didn't hire the investigators. They didn't ask the right questions. And at the end of that case, our team ended up getting the client, I believe it was almost 4 times more in settlement value than they were originally told to accept by a lawyer. A lawyer in this town has the same license as Sam, myself, tried to sell them on a result that was 4 times less than what the case was actually worth. And so that's one of the great examples of the value we can add. Complex cases with catastrophic injuries, they have a lot of nuance to them. It's who's at fault, how did the accident exactly occur, and all of that is fact sensitive. So your case will be developed very differently from someone else's case, but with talking it through, we'll know exactly what needs to be done for you and for your family. And so sometimes we have to send an accident reconstructionist out. Sometimes we need to have a biomechanic expert look at the damage on the vehicle and figure out your injuries based on the medical records. We also sometimes have to have medical experts review all of the documents and medical treatment that's taken place to fully understand your injuries. And then that's just one aspect. And then there's also a financial loss. If you've lost your job or you're unable to work moving forward, now you need an economist. And I'm not good with numbers, so I tend to hire someone that is, and that's another expert. And so it all depends on what you're going through and what your case lines up, but it's about figuring all those things out and utilizing resources to make sure we're checking every box that we can and actually finding new boxes, I guess.
One analogy that is maybe not perfect, but I think it helps people understand what we do. You got to think of it like a general contractor. A general contractor, a good general contractor, will build a great home, a great building, whatever it is. And it's because of the entire team. They've got all those individual subs and all those people that they have developed over time that can help make it happen. So all of that is absolutely true. And in some cases, especially the big cases, literally everyone that you just mentioned, Ash, we need on a given case. And you need to get them to all work together. So we're back to the team, the importance of leading a team and of being good managers, right? We as lawyers need to not just have strong courtroom skills and legal skills, but we also need to be good managers. And we need to work cooperatively, because that is an enormous benefit to you, because every one of those people helps build up the value in your case. Put another way, you literally can come to the table with the case that without that workup is just a 6-figure case, and you can turn it into a 7 or 8-figure case in the millions or tens of millions.
Absolutely.
There's a big difference by adding all those elements of proof, right? Of showing how this accident has affected you, how this injury has affected you, how this loss has changed your life. And that's what you want. You can't just rely again on that one lawyer coming in and winging it. And believe me, you'd be shocked. There are lawyers that still do that. And that's because I don't know, they watched Perry Mason growing up and they kind of get you to that aha, gotcha moment. But what they never show in those depictions is that there's a lot of background work that gets you to that point. And in order to win, in order to prevail, in order to build value, we absolutely have to be willing to bring in anybody and everybody that we can and have those people available to us, have them here in our office or on retainer outside of our office to build that value for you. And another really important thing here that I think a lot of clients ask is what happens if we lose? And while that doesn't really happen very often, we have a no recovery, no fee contract, which means if for whatever reason this case doesn't work out, or you decide at some point to not pursue the claim, we walk away from we don't get paid because there isn't any recovery. But we have that in our contract, and a lot of people ask about that, and you should definitely ask your lawyer and any lawyer that you interview whether they have that in their agreement.
Low fee isn't risk-free. Time to upgrade your injury lawyer and charge it to the insurance company.